It's gonna come on.
Because TikTok's creator fund is like one pot size. Like let's say it's like 50 million, and if there's more creators popping up, the 50 million isn't changing. So like, you just get a piece of that 50 million. That's the problem with TikTok right now.
Even the gifts too.
They have like unlimited budget for creators.
Good morning. 2 million influencers. 33% of them are micro.
Hey, did you two see? I tagged both of you in that RV chick's TikTok.
I didn't follow her. I'll go look at it.
I didn't see the video though yet. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Just check the tag. She has like I think 50,000 followers.
Dude, I get so many like comments and stuff that like it'll take me like a year to scroll back one day. You're gonna have to tag me again.
At the top, you can click comment and like you can filter it out.
Yeah.
Oh, you can?
Like mentions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. What's up? Great backwood. Okay, I got one person on my TikTok. On my YouTube live stream. Everyone here, jump on my YouTube live stream and give me a thumbs up. YouTube Bud Mash. I need you.
Did you get an RV for your trailer? I got a quad to move my trailer in and out of my warehouse.
Okay, someone's asking, what's my new TikTok? It's YOLO Bitcoin. It sucks what happened to your TikTok. It's okay. I'm going to do more content on YouTube, man. YouTube is better. They pay the creators better. They do everything better. Google is better than, Chinese-owned TikTok. TikTok does not give you... I can say that because I got a Chinese girlfriend.
About them, like, on their own app.
Yeah.
It's true, though, dude. It's true. Like, it's the worst for creators. But by the way, did you see my Xi Jinping post? I called him like the Emperor of China. I got a lot of views on that, and I didn't get banned yet. What are your thoughts on wholesaling? Do any of you guys wholesale real estate? Anyone here?
No.
I recommend doing rental arbitrage. It's the easiest way to make money in real estate. You go find a landlord. You want to get like a 3-bedroom condo or a 6-bedroom house. You tell them you're going to do Airbnb. What you do is you take half the house and you get long-term tenants. So you take 3 rooms, get like month-to-month or year-long tenants, and then your other 3 rooms you do Airbnb. My YouTube name is right here. It's Sina Dean. So if you guys don't mind, jump onto YouTube, subscribe, and like.
Yo, what do you think about like short-term tenants though? Like I knew this a couple that had a lot of success renting out to like foreign exchange students.
Yeah. So what you do is once again, you usually like let's say you have a 5-bedroom house, right? So usually you want three of those rooms to be like people that stay long term, like a foreign exchange student, right? They're going to stay there for 6 to 9 months, right? But then what you do is you convert 2 of your rooms into Airbnb rooms where you can jack up the price during the weekend, and then you have like a lower price during the week. And if you don't want to spend a lot of time managing it, you just find one person that lives in the house, you make them the house manager, right? And then they literally do most of the work for you while they live at that property. You give them discounted rent. And then you can scale it. I have a tenant right now that has 10 properties in California and 3 properties in Miami, Florida. And he's going to Texas too. It's called rental arbitrage. If you have YouTube, you can do, Airbnb automated. There's a guy who does it on YouTube, and he gives you a lot of good information. What's up? How's it going? Thank you for the thumbs up on YouTube, guys. I got two thumbs up on YouTube. If you guys don't mind, come on my YouTube. Give me a thumbs up. You can go back to TikTok. By the way, did you guys see the rebound of the market? I'm so sad. I panic sold too much.
I'm all green.
Someone's like, I would love to have you as a mentor, $100 for a 30-minute call. I'll do it for free. Just come on my Facebook. You're going to have to come on my Facebook live stream. I think I can have you on my Facebook live stream.
$5,000 an hour.
Okay, there you go. Party Finance wants $5,000. I'll do it for free. I will never charge. It's cryptocurrency trends. If you go on Facebook, it's a page. It's called Cryptocurrency Trends. Just like it. And what I can do is I'll go live on that, and you can ask me questions. Cryptocurrency Trends. Let me know if you can find it on Facebook. Dude, I got 6 likes on my YouTube right now. This is good. Let's get to 10 likes, guys. Let's get to 10 likes. Put that chain up on OpenSea.
Is it harder to get big on YouTube?
Yes.
I would imagine
so much easier on TikTok.
Game.
It's so much easier.
Game. Apparently, if you upload 433 videos, like in the course of like 3 years, you'll hit 100K.
What? Okay, you know how much I've uploaded on YouTube? I've uploaded like 1.4
actual
thousand.
content, like not like shorts. Like you need
Okay.
actual content. Yeah.
Why did I get banned on TikTok? Because TikTok is arbitrary. Anyone, if you are a community, like you say something bad about online gambling casinos, you say something bad about XRP, people can literally just go and report your TikTok and you'll get banned. They don't do any human moderation. It's all just like robots. So if enough people don't like you on TikTok, they just report you and you get banned.
So what's up? What's going on?
But hey, Nerd Finance, what are you doing tonight? You want to come play poker? We're doing poker at my TikTok creator house.
Oh, dude, I don't know how to play poker.
Oh, you don't? I gotta teach you.
Well, I do know how to play. I'm really bad at it.
It's okay. We're gonna do
I'm
$20
gonna play
buy-in. $20 buy-in.
You should go.
I'm trying to get. Oh man, Annie's gonna get mad. I'm trying to get some coffee shop girls to work my poker game. They'll come and they'll pour you drinks.
I saw a TikTok of like there's like bubble shops out there where women are baristas are like scantily clad, and
Yep.
it's like a Vietnamese thing.
Yeah, let's go, dude.
Yeah.
I the best one is called. It's in Garden Grove. It's called Stars Cafe. You can look it up on Instagram. STARZ Cafe. Everyone here, go on your
I'm on the
Instagram.
way.
It's seriously the
Some
best.
copy.
I took my uncle there, and he's like, my uncle's like, wow, this is a very good concept. I wish they have this in San Diego. Like, I come here, I do my business, I get my coffee.
I love your.
He's like, I love this idea. I want to come to Orange County more often. These girls, they are very nice, they're very friendly, and the coffee is very good. Oh, there you go. I used to pour latte art for money. I actually like Artila. Yeah, hey, can you do an Indian accent, Party Finance?
See, I've been to India. I understand the language 100%, but I will not, and I will never speak it. I can, but I will never speak it. I just speak English, and that's all I care about.
Dude, John, if you're in Garden Grove, let's meet at Stars.
Yeah, he's got a. If you see his video, he's got like a. I think he must be like east of Garden Grove or something, because he's got like a farm or something. Like,
inland.
I knew he was in Southern California, and when I thought that he was in a farm, I assumed it was like Emmett or something like that.
Yeah.
Around like more like
Banning?
east of there, yeah.
Banning, you can have a lot of land in
I'm in
Banning.
Gardena. Someone's from Garden Grove. I know that place. OC area.
Yeah, before I bought the house in San Diego, I was looking kind of out in the country, like almost by like Emmett,
Vista.
Lake Elsinore.
I love Vista.
Yeah.
Vista's cool. And you're not far from the beach. Vista's, I feel like, the
Wait.
best area.
Lake Elsinore, is that the one that's close to Pechanga?
Kind of.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, I know that place.
Someone's asking me how many rentals do I own. I used to own like over 30 when I was investing in Vegas and Texas. Now I've downsized them like at 12. Powell's gonna either send us to the moon or dirt. How many do you have, Party Finance? How many rentals do you have?
5, and then I have 6 properties, but 5 are rental.
I'm gonna tell everyone right now, it's actually so much easier because, you know, I started out in 2010 with about one property, and like in 2013 I had like up to like 20, and it was so hard to manage properties back in the day because like you didn't have electronic payments, you couldn't do all the leasing stuff over the internet yet. Like now it's so much easier. So if you are like thinking of like doing property management on your own and doing it on scale, it's a lot easier than it used to be. Let's turn this TikTok farm. That's funny. All right, let me read these counties. Why did I downsize? So I got into hard money lending. So if you're a hard money lender, you don't own the properties anymore. You just do short-term loans. And for me, it's actually a lot easier because I don't have to worry about, you know, if the market's going up or down, I get my fixed rate of return. And it's also the contractors that were doing the work. They were kind of like nickel and diming us and they were being shady. So why not just lend the money to the contractors, make them do the flip, and we still make all the money. And then if they don't do the flip, we can foreclose and get the property for cheap.
Dude, that's what Nima does. Nima does the same thing. He's a hard money lender.
Yeah. That's what you realize. It's like once you get enough properties, you realize that, like, you know, in California, you don't want to sell your properties because the property tax doesn't go up. But for Vegas and Texas, it wasn't worth it because the property tax kept going up. So there's more money in flips. And then once you get involved with flips and you have to rely on contractors, it's really stressful. So if you're the lender and they know you can foreclose and wipe them out, they don't screw you over anymore. Like, there's no like managing the.
You mean Nima here on TikTok that's friends with Pablo?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's also friends with what's his name, Chief. Nima's friends with Chief. Chief is like really close with.
And me. We're homies.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
but yeah, if you are gonna buy a property this year, do FHA. Put as little money down.
Yeah, 100, dude. Do FHA. Or if you live out in the country and you're willing to put the money to fix it up, they got like those not the VA loans, I think they're like FDA loans or something like that. Like actual Food and Drug Administration loans, something weird like that.
Exactly. Yeah, HOA is basically a scam. I try to stay away from properties with HOA fees. But if you're a newbie,
Me too, man.
if you're a newbie, it's
When you
good.
go to like buy or research properties to buy, whatever loan you get approved for does not include the HOA fees. So just take that into consideration. Like if you're getting a loan and you have like a mortgage payment calculated what you're going to do monthly, that's not including the HOA fee.
Yeah. So for example, I'll give you an example. Annie has a property with an HOA fee of like $400 a month, right? And it's supposed to take care of the maintenance, the landscape, and the pool, right? Well, guess what? For my houses, you know how much it cost me to maintain the landscape? I just basically went all mulch and no grass. So literally my landscaping cost is maybe $100 a year. So look at Annie. What is that? 400 times 12. It's like she's paying $3.5 grand.
An AstroTurf yard or something?
No, mulch. You just go to Home Depot, you buy the black, there's like this black thing you lay down, and then you just mulch. You use just mulch. And then if you want to be like my mom actually wants the properties to be nice. She buys those small little, I forgot the name of those plants. They don't need a lot of water. I forgot the name, but.
Cactus?
Huh? Not cactus. It's like a cactus.
Like succulents or something? Or monkey
Succulents.
grass or...
Succulents. That's what makes it look really nice, and you don't need any water. So if you don't want to be a slumlord like me, because I'm too cheap to put in the succulents, my mom will put in the succulents. And I got a couple for my properties. I got her succulents for free, and I put them in my rentals because she ordered too many. But that's the way to go because labor is really expensive in California. Like if you want a good landscaper, at least in California, it's like $200 a month now. Like when
Because they all have to be licensed through the ass.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a problem. All these like government like regulations.
Yeah, but they
and
just
stuff.
killed the market because now like most smart property owners are going to be like me. They're just going to go waterless. We already have like a water problem. So like it's great that most of my properties are solar and they're like very low water use. So like your utility bills are going to be a lot less because the solar will reduce your electric bill. And then the fact that the landscape.
What's making them low water use? Like low flow toilets and fixtures? Or what
No, my
that's making
landscaping.
low water
I have
use?
no grass. All of my properties, I got rid of the grass.
Oh, yeah, the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no watering at all. Do you refinance your properties? Yes, with ICBC. The trick is you get the loans personally, and then when you have multiple properties, you convert them into an LLC, and then you go to ICBC, the Chinese bank, and you can refinance them, right, as a commercial loan. And that means all of your debt that you had personally is wiped out, and then you can go get more FHA loans. So it's like the hack. It's like you buy with FHA or conventional, and you get the really good rate. And then once you get like a couple of properties, you can go to a commercial bank and say, hey, look, I have these 3 properties that are owned by an LLC. Give me a commercial loan. And basically, you're going to pay a little bit higher of a rate. But right now, my uncle just did a refinance with ICBC, 3.5% for 10 years, commercial loan. And then now he has no, he doesn't have any personal mortgage debt. So his credit is like super clean now because all the loans that he was paying in his name are moved to the corporation. and boom, now he can go do more FHA loans and pick up more properties.
Yeah,
Yeah, but straight up a Chinese commercial bank, like it sounds. I'm sure it's not all that risky, but like if people don't know, they're gonna be like, oh man, I don't want to be indebted to China.
Well, you can go to an American bank, but it's a little bit higher interest rate. American banks are usually 4 to 4.5%, but you could have a relationship, you could negotiate. I've just never got a good deal with American banks. Like the Chinese banks are the
but
best.
just, I think it's important to remember that the FHA loans, they are better in a sense that you're putting less of a down. Because for years you're assuming that there's an appreciation, so that's how you can get another loan with the Chinese bank.
And they want more equity. Chinese banks want 35%. So what you do is you buy with FHA, you cash flow, and then whenever it goes down to 35% LTV, you can refinance and then do the commercial loan. But you can rinse and repeat. You can do infinite amount of FHA loans, but I think it's like one a year. As long as you say you're going to live in it, you can do an FHA loan, wait a year, go to another property, FHA loan.
Yeah, but for those that aren't commercial loans, you're capped at 5. After 5, I think it gets
Exactly. So what you do, the way you get around it is once you get to 5 loans, you take 3 of those properties and you switch them to commercial loans.
Yeah, that's the way.
So that cap at 5 thing, I was gonna ask you all about that because I remember like Meet Kevin talked about something like that where he rotates 5 and then his wife holds another 5 and they're like doing that constant rotation. Yeah.
Yep. Meet Kevin's smart. He sold though. What do you guys think of that? He paperhead and sold everything. He's gonna owe a lot in taxes. He's gonna owe a lot in taxes if he sold all his Tesla that like went up like 16x. I can't believe he sold that. But whatever.
Yeah, you know.
He might have not made money. The only reason I would do that.
To harvest against it, though, I'm sure.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like in
No,
Cal.
he had mostly gains. Like outside.
He prints money.
But what if your income?
YouTube and stuff.
What if your income? So like I want to ask non-fungible cats this since he's a CPA. What if like 1 year when I'm doing my taxes, let's just say I'm making 120 grand consistently, and then 1 year I only make like 10 grand on my tax return. Can I sell all my securities and not pay any capital gains because I'm not in the like highest bracket or whatever, right? That year.
If it's up to 40,000 on the long-term capital gains, the first 40,000 are tax-free.
Oh, so once it goes over 40,000, you start paying taxes on the capital gains.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's why I used to joke about like gifting stuff to like your grandma or somebody who's retired and only has Social Security income, so they can take the long-term capital gain.
okay, yeah, you could do it with crypto. It's easy to transfer your crypto. I don't know about your stocks.
That's what people do to what do you call that? To like endowments, and they donate appreciated stock and then they just sell it for them.
Yeah.
And they get a tax
Exactly.
deduction, right? Because if you donate it to like an endowment, right, it's a tax deduction. It's a charitable, right?
Tax deduction for you, yeah. On the market.
Yeah,
Can we set up a nonprofit?
Real money, dude, man. That's how they get away with like not having to pay taxes and control where their money actually goes and gets spent.
Exactly. So,
Absolutely respect that. Absolutely respect that.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
so can we create the Church of Bitcoin, and then I can start donating all my stocks to the Church of Bitcoin? Like the 4 of us, can we create our own Church of Bitcoin? We can use my house as the address.
Scams in the world combined.
That's what I'm saying. The Church of Bitcoin, and like we'll basically do pictures of Jesus, and then we'll put the Bitcoin logo behind his head. That'll be the Church of Bitcoin, right? Who's down to join the Church of Bitcoin, guys? Leave a comment. Let us know if you want to join our church. And our mission is not to pay taxes because that's what churches do.
Jeremy wiped out.
What do you mean? It's God's wish.
Jeremy John McAfee.
But all the other people get away with it. Joel Osteen, right? The super pastors, don't they get away with that?
Because because he's actually religion is a scam.
I know, but
100%
I can do a scam too. I can do preaching. I just say that love Jesus and buy Bitcoin. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Bitcoin.
Do it and believe that crap. That's
I
the
do.
problem. You can't
I believe it.
But you can't like, oh, I'm doing this for fun. Like, no, you like, I believe it. I have to do it. If not, they're gonna like, it's all fraud. Like, this is basically fraud.
How can they prove your religion is real or not? Like, doesn't everyone have the freedom of religion so they can pick whatever they want in their religion? Like,
Well,
right?
technically, they can prove whether your marriage is real or not. So.
Yeah, like you can't screw the government. They'll take everything.
Wait,
from
so
you.
how come Joel Osteen can do it? How come these mega church pastors?
Because he picked out of whatever 5 top religions, he picked one of them and he just stuck to the bullshit.
That's what I'm saying. We'll stick to the BS. We'll just add a little crypto. You can add crypto to it and still be like a Christian thing. Like I met a pastor who started his own church through TikTok. You know, he has like his own church, and like they're basically Christianity, but they're okay with gays. They're okay with like bisexual marriages. Like it's like a really liberal Christianity, but he's like a church or a pastor or whatever, and it's all non-deductible or whatever. And he doesn't even have a salary. He lives off donations.
Joe Osteen, Google him. He's in tech. His house is like $30 million. He owns an arena. A church is his arena.
Yeah.
He's the asshole that, like, I can't remember what hurricane it was,
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
he locked the doors. He locked the doors to the church.
Yeah, he didn't want to help
I don't
people.
want building getting damaged. But yeah, it was kind of messed up.
Basically, Jesus told him
like, 4
not.
hours later.
Jesus told him not to help people until people got pissed off on social media, and then Jesus told him, change your mind, help the people. Yeah, it is the guy with the crazy eyes. I'm just jealous, man. They have a good racket, and to be honest, these TikTok live streams is just like a sermon, right? So it's like, dude, I could create like a morning live stream sermon, and dude, I'm gonna become a pastor. You guys are laughing at me, but I'm gonna get ordained and everything, and I'm gonna have my own crypto church. Watch it happen.
Or you could do a nonprofit that actually helps people, man.
But we do. We help you with investing because everything else is a scam. Like, think about it. The churches take 10%, right? The churches take 10%. We should do like a royalty. Like, you have to give us 10%, but then we pay you like a 6% dividend. We're the church that actually pays you a rate of return on your donations.
Well, 10% is what a tithe is to begin with, so
Yeah.
that's kind of the expectation already.
Yeah, so we
I
do.
think it's like Muslims, I believe. You had to like they had to like donate. I think like 5% of their net worth a year to like whatever.
Yeah.
It's Zakat. I know that.
5% of your net worth. That's
No, it's like
so
3.
stupid. It's like 10%. It's like a double-digit %.
No. Muslim is 3.
10% of income. 10% of income.
Yeah,
That's-
so, yeah, for Christians, it's 10% of income, but for Muslims, it's like 3% of net worth.
No,
Yeah.
No,
let's Google this. I have to fact check you guys.
Yeah, fact check it.
That's
Fact
why
check it. But it's
religion
called
is a
Zakat.
scam. It's
I-
all
I know-
BS.
And it's funny because
My
it's
thing is, like,
it's supposed to
like,
help poor
Christians
people.
don't want to argue like 10% gross, 10% net. I'm like, dude, like you're trying to just not have money to retire or something.
It's 0.25%.
They just want your money.
And a lot of the money doesn't go to helping the community. It just goes to helping the pastor and them hiring more employees to do work. It's like, you know, I used to do
It
volunteer
stays
at a
internal.
church.
It never goes out. Once it's in the church, it never goes out the church. It just stays there.
Yeah.
And that's a scam.
Zakat.
Like the people who run it make bank.
Yeah.
And it's tax-free. You pay
Yep.
0 taxes.
Guys. Zakat requires Muslims to donate 2.5% of their wealth.
It all goes to helping poor people. Yeah.
See, that's where I would argue that maybe there's like 10% that goes all to helping poor people. But be very careful because, like, even like when they raided the Taliban, did you guys hear that? Like when they raided the Taliban, all the pastors that were taking all this Zakat money, they found like, what is it? Like super expensive liquors. Like they raided the Taliban, and then the Taliban had like a stash of really expensive alcohol. And they're taking money from poor people. How long do you think it will take for crypto to recover? It's already recovering. So you just like with crypto.
Government, religion are the 2 biggest scams. But yeah.
He's in the UAE, but I bet you anything if it gets audited, some of the money doesn't go, you know, to the poor. It's like the Red Cross. Know the facts before you talk about Islam. So so he's getting offended, but like most of the money is good, right? Like most of the time, but you like for you to say that all the money goes to the poor is kind of like also ignorant because there are. And I gave you the example. So maybe the UAE is pure, right? But they caught the Taliban. The Taliban had like like super expensive alcohol, like stash. And it was basically donation money that they weren't, helping the poor. They were, buying super expensive alcohol to enjoy.
Yeah, dude, everyone's in it for themselves. I don't care where you are in the world, what position in religion, everyone's in it for themselves.
Human nature. It's human nature.
Yeah, no one cares about anybody, realistically.
I've actually been to the UAE, so it's pretty nice. But it generally favors the masses. It's just always corruption. There's always like a couple of bad apples that kind of like ruin it.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like and that's inherently human nature. When you put somebody in a seat of power, there's that old saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, let's all just be like let's talk about the Red Cross. The CEO of the Red Cross makes $800K, and like when you donated money to Haiti, they caught him where it's like not $9 out of $10 went to like the Red Cross. It didn't go to the Haitian people.
Yeah, like because the Red Cross needs their money for all their other BS. So.
Yeah, and it's not.
The Haitians they really don't get a lot of help, especially here in California. Like my lady, she's starting or she has started it now because of like how little help the Haitians get. And I hate to say it, but it's like it's a lot of Mexican Americans that are like, oh, you don't speak Spanish or English? Oh shit, here's some paperwork in Spanish, and I know you're not going to stick up for your rights like some people from other countries. So I'm just going to keep on treating you like this third-class citizen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with a blockchain, it would be more transparent. Like if you were doing your donations via blockchain, and then you could actually like confirm that it's going to like poor people's wallets. Maybe in the future it won't be as corrupt, because that's the problem. When you give money to whoever, you don't know where your money's being spent. It's not the government's job to help people. But I don't know. I feel like in the future, if you have...
We're not really talking about the government helping people. We're talking about like these nonprofits or whatever other entities.
The Red Cross.
About how much they're helping people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. The Red Cross can't find a CEO for $200K. Like, I'll help run the Red Cross for $200K. I have an MBA from USC.
Not one good person. I'll do it for free.
Yeah.
Volunteer to be CEO. That's what I'm saying. Like, everything's a money grab. In reality, finance, if you really look at it, it's pretty much all BS. Like, to be honest, it's all make-believe. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and this is funny that your own government doesn't help your own people. You're right. We spend millions and billions of dollars blowing up people in Afghanistan and Iraq. It's like, what, we spent $7 trillion? So he's totally right. And like, what is it? People are still drinking lead water in Michigan, So
I'm down for war. I'm pro-war. I'm very pro-war.
And what user long number string said, man, there's going to be a difference between like small churches and these mega churches. Like the one we kept on ragging on is Joel Osteen or whatever. He's this mega church. That's a completely different thing than your like local First Baptist church with like a congregation of less than 100 people, less than 500 people. Because it's smaller, it's like there's a lot more disclosures, a lot more people in everything's business. It's a lot more difficult to like get away with what Joel Osteen does.
So let me bring up something, because someone's like, human nature, if you help them and feed them, they won't work. So I've actually been to Cuba, right? And in Cuba, you don't have to work, but here's the interesting thing. There's no crime, because the problem we have in America, there's the prison industrial complex. So in Cuba, because you get free housing and you get free money, you don't want to commit crimes. Going to jail is worse. And like, it's hilarious that we spend all this money on prison where like we could actually do the opposite and just give people money not to commit crimes and not to go to prison. And it would probably do a better job, but you don't make as much money.
Or we could start a deportation process.
Hey, I don't burn money and I don't steal resources. That's the government. But I'm pro-war. It'll help my portfolio.
But seriously, we saw how good the stimulus money is. And the problem is, like, you saw how the rent stuff is BS. It's like, oh, like, fill in this application, do this. And it's like, it doesn't really help anyone and the money doesn't get used. If we just kept doing direct payments to people, especially like if you're a criminal, you don't get the stimulus money. But if you don't commit crimes, you get stimulus money, crime would go away. I think so. I think a lot of crime would go away if you get like a monthly stimulus payment to not commit crimes. All of a sudden, like crimes would like go down a lot, and then you can't jail people and spend $80,000 a year throwing people into jail.
I'm pro war with anybody. I just like war. Great for my portfolio.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about Mongols invading, you know, or like barbarians coming in invading your country and then pillaging your town.
Barbarians at the gate.
You're
Building
like
things.
trying to get banned from like medieval people.
The problem is we don't have enough jobs. Like robots are better than humans, and like the thing is, like, you know, humans can do workers' compensation. So like a lot of employers don't want humans; they would rather have robots do the work, you know, and it's more efficient.
DHL, the shipping company, just invested with Boston Dynamics to have a bunch of robots do their like fulfillment in the warehouse. So like people, like that's thousands of jobs is gone.
Yeah, I believe in a future where humans shouldn't be forced to work. It's like basically, you know, we have enough wealth from technology that like you just get money to not commit crimes and you spend it. If you don't want to work, go ahead. Like going to Cuba was dope. Like I saw like no beggars. There's no beggars. There's no like dirty people. Like everyone had enough money for like rent, food, and to drink booze. That was the other thing too. It was hilarious. Like if you go to Cuba on like a Tuesday or Wednesday night, there's people on the streets like drinking and partying. Because there's just people that choose not to work, but it's fine because they spend money and it helps the economy, and they're not committing crimes.
It's interesting.
Yeah, and like, why do I want my money to go to prison? Like, why do I want to?
Dominican Republic.
Because prison just creates more criminals. Like, what people don't realize is like jail is just like college for criminals. So it's like they go to jail, they're there for like 5 to 10 years, they learn how to commit better crimes. No one wants to hire a criminal. They can't get a job, so they just come out and they commit more crimes. So we could totally eliminate this by giving people money not to commit crimes. Like, hey, you stay, you know, and even getting a job. Like, I don't understand why the government doesn't promote that.
Like, this is where I'm a staunch Democrat, but this is where I'm like, yeah, but I was raised in the South, and I look at places like San Francisco, and even I call San Francisco like this socialist paradise, and it's a friggin' mess over there. You're telling me giving people money is gonna stop crime? I'm just like laughing so hard thinking of all the crime that exists up there.
Yeah, but once again, it's like
the pandemic. When COVID happened, they gave money to everyone, and California's crime rate just went insane, and everyone was getting money. Like all the criminals were doing all their PPP fraud. Like I know a bunch of people that did that, like fraud. And, like,
what about the business owners? You don't think there's business owners that did the same thing? And then like, what about the airlines? They got a ton of money to get bailed out, and they still fired all the workers.
Well, no, that was actually that.
Like, I don't understand. Why do airlines get bailout?
Airlines, like, they paid out a lot of people to retire early so that they wouldn't have to, like, pay them as much in their pension.
Interesting. Yeah. Anyways, how many middle-class people did you meet in Cuba? Well, have you seen the American middle class? It's kind of shrinking, especially in California. Like, I feel like, you know, more than half of my graduating class, they're not going to be able to afford kids. They're just like...
I feel like the middle class are modern-day slaves, to be honest.
So what we talked about earlier, that's why, personally, I don't really like this whole, like, rental arbitrage, Airbnb arbitrage, because... You know, I remember seeing people do it 10 years ago, and I'm like, dude, so you're like, you can afford this long-term lease, and you're using it to rent out to, like, college students who can only afford half a bedroom 1 month at a time. So I didn't really like that or supporting that.
But you have to provide affordable housing. If that person can only rent for $500 and can't afford $1,000, like, that's the problem. We don't have affordable housing. What are they going to do, sleep on the street?
Step in and develop the buildings themselves.
But they're not going to, because all the people that own real estate want prices to keep going up. That's the problem.
I'll tell you what, dude, like, when I drive to the mall, like, by Mission Valley, I always have to, like, speak up and say it. I'm like, these are luxury condos, and they're supposed to be, quote, affordable housing. But none of those things are cheaper than, like, $2,500 a month, and the average one is probably, like, $3,500 a month, man. Like, stop lying about affordable housing.
Seriously.
Everyone's building